Hi guys, welcome back to WarGames Weekly with Martin and Georgie.
WarGames Weekly?
WarGames Weekly? That's not us, is it?
That's not a thing.
WarGames on Wednesday. It's a weekly show. One week. Just 1 week we're going to start this show.
That was like, what, 3 seconds in?
Yeah, I'm going up. See you later.
Yeah, cool.
I'm off. I want to go home. I've had no sugar because I'm doing that silly diet thing now.
I just ate a piece of chocolate cake in front of him. It was so funny.
There's words for you, isn't there, fatty? But yeah, so some of the guys who we sponsor, they're all in a group chat, and they decided that whilst I was out in Canada, old man Ian from Imperium Gaming decided to tell me that I put weight on. I was like, yeah, it's just a camera ads, and
how many cameras were on you?
There must have been 10 cameras, and so it was backwards and forwards, and to be fair, it was something I was already aware of, and September is normally my month to lose weight. Every year I normally, because nothing's on in September, I don't have any social events on.
Because you've got no friends?
No, it's just of all the year, it's the quietest month. Okay. So it's normally the month that I can concentrate on doing that. As it happens, this September I'm going to no retreat. So when we did the whole going to Canada, going to Gibraltar.
One of the monkeys like attacks you and gives you rabies. How funny would that be? Had a rabies shot. Do they do that anymore?
I don't think so.
No, because didn't rabies stop being... Oh, they do. Philip's nodding. I mean, our special guest, who is to be mysterious.
By the way, Philip is not the word of the week. It really isn't.
Missed opportunity! That would have been legendary. That would have been legendary.
Legendary.
Wouldn't it have
We're
been legendary?
Legendary.
I think it's
This show is legendary.
My hair is looking
bad.
legendary.
Yeah. The backdrop's quite cool today, isn't it?
Thank you.
Do you know what? At the point of the backdrop, because we don't really want to talk about my diet and my goals, but we do want to talk about my Star Wars mug.
That was a gift from me.
It was in your former life. Your life before working here.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Kept it cool.
Kept it chill, man.
Kept it good.
So the backdrop.
George is going to talk about this bit because I honestly didn't know anything about this until about 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Because that's how on top of things I am, guys.
Well, basically, as you can probably ascertain, people are talking about Game of Thrones. We'll come on to that. Don't you worry.
To be fair, all spoilers are good. So
yeah.
We're talking about it tonight. The season's finished. If you haven't caught up,
I can't talk about it.
Turn the show off.
If my mum's watching, because
your mum hasn't watched it.
Of course, my mum's watched it.
So therefore, it doesn't matter. You mean you can't talk about your fascination with Jon Snow's arse because your mum might be watching it?
She agrees with me. She's just going to text. She sent me afterwards. Yeah. Basically,
Danny can't act, but she can do other things.
I think Emilia Clarke's beautiful.
Family show.
Cersei kills Dumbledore. That's what happens. Jamie is a free elf.
I could get behind that.
But the background.
We're coming back to Game of Thrones because we want to talk about
this is
Iron
the background.
Company.
Company of Iron. Hello, my darlings. Hi, Mum. Company of Iron.
Hey, Jack.
Essentially, Privateer Press, the company that make Warmer Hordes, have
Warmachine.
Warmer Hordes.
Oh, it's Warmachine and Hordes. Okay. Yeah. We'll go with it.
In October, go on.
No, okay.
What are you going to say?
Is it the new board game? Is that what this is?
No.
No, because the new board games, in the distributors, I saw it.
Did
and
you?
I put my hands on it and I was like, no, we don't need to buy this.
No, it's not that. It's like a skirmish game. It's a squad-based skirmish game set, obviously, in the world of Warmachine and Hordes. What I like...
We could ruin Harry's day. He's got one episode left. Let me know when you're talking.
Oh no, we're not going to ruin Harry's day. But basically, they've essentially made a skirmish version of Warmachine, a shorter, simpler, easy to play version of Warmachine, kind of like a starter set, if you like, but in a specialist box.
They're on the shelf.
No, this is like a different one. Basically, they've
made this their version of Dark Imperium?
Kind of.
Well, not Dark Imperium. No Fear. Dark Imperium is not a starter set. No Fear and First Strike are.
Oh, thank you, Hendrik. Thank you. He said my hair looks nice.
Hendrik, it's almost chocolate time.
It's almost chocolate time. Hendrik always brings chocolate bars over.
And he's going to Gibraltar and I'm going to Gibraltar, so I'll get chocolate, but you won't.
You
think I'm not going to eat that on my way back? It's my weekend to eat chocolate. I won't have had chocolate for 3 weeks. And then I'm getting me some Henny chocolate.
Anyway, so what they've done is they have it's basically Sigmar and minions, in case you weren't able to tell that from the backdrop, in case you can't see the characters on it. Tyrion and Daenerys, well.
Surely we can't spoil the Tyrion and Daenerys sex scene for Harry.
My mother would
That
have
would be a
loved
little
that.
cruel.
But
She was.
it's a game of, basically, it's
Sorry,
games of War
interrupt.
Machine that last 10 to 15 minutes as opposed to the longer ones. It's the same rules apply, but what they've done is they've kind of tweaked them to make them specific to this box set. So your armies, they're 20-point armies. 2 20-point armies you get in this box.
Can you only use the armies that are in the box? Or can I use my trolls?
No, basically, the rule book that's in it, it's just like not a starter set, an entryway kind of Dark Imperium style. So the rules in it are tailored to the armies that are in the box, and it's things like there's no warcasters and warlocks involved, but it is what are they called? Warjacks and war beasts. You can take them.
Beasts,
So it's kind of
solos
tailored
and
to
stuff,
make
yeah.
it simpler.
Yeah.
And both of them have kind of exclusive minis as the leaders of the factions and stuff like that. I think it's a really good move from Privateer Press, because if you're trying to get into War Machine, it can look a little overwhelming because there is a huge array of products. There's so much stuff, and it can be a little overwhelming, a little daunting to kind of look at it and go, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where to start. You know, getting bombarded with.
Do you know what it is?
is?
Do you know what it is from Privateer Press? It's a legendary movement.
It's legendary. Legendary.
It's a legendary movement.
Legendary.
That's what it is.
Legendary. It's,
And to be fair, that's probably the quietest these guys and you have heard me in a long time, because I was reading bits on there, but I was actually, for once, don't faint, was taking in what you were saying and listening to you. Mind blown. I was also debating whether or not to ruin Harry's day, but I was more thinking,
but it comes.
that sounds cool.
No, but it comes with tokens. It comes with the little specialised kind of
That's
tailored
good.
rule book.
How
it comes
much
with,
is it?
It's on our website actually. I'm going to tell people to go to the website and look for it on the
Yes,
pre-order
do, because
section.
we need the clicks and hits. On the note of clicks and hits, this is the point in the show where I am going to turn around and I'm going to whore out our company, because we always do. Please, you're watching this, so I'm guessing you're already subscribed to YouTube. Please share this video afterwards. Let other people go and watch it. Please, if you haven't already, like our Facebook page. We're up to the 2,300 likes on there. It's probably only 2,100 actually.
£60 and 97 pence.
£60 and 97 pence. That's
because of our discount, so it's
money right there. But yeah, please go and like the Facebook page. Please like us on Twitter. We don't do anything on Twitter, but just follow us on Twitter anyway.
Instagram. You
every
get to
now
see
and
more
again,
selfies of me because I just
well,
use
Instagram. To be fair, we've gained like 100 followers in the last week or so. Since you've been putting non-pictures of you on and actually putting pictures of product and stuff on.
That's not true.
We've picked a load of people up, and as a result, with it, I want to say now that once we hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, so that's like another 380 to go, or 370 to go, whatever it is. Big competition.
I wish you'd tell me about these things that you say before. Okay.
I just make them up on the spot. It's a proactively reactive business. What do you think about that?
I think it's a lot. Yes, that's a good
Wait,
giveaway.
do you know what we are as a business? We're legendary.
But no, it's.
We're only
I've got
lowercase
lots of
legendary,
people-
we're not capital.
Yeah,
letter
all
legendary.
lowercase, you know. that's fine. No exclamation mark, just whatever. But someone, Lewis in the chat has said he's just started War Machine, and it can be daunting because of how competitive it is.
Definitely
that I completely get on board with. Like, it's it's a great game, and it just depends on your play styles and how you.
Evening, Ace.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, and Geeks. Sorry.
How you
Boys.
like to play and how you, how you enjoy playing the game. Like, because I mean, from what I've seen, hobby in terms of painting and things like that doesn't take a back seat, but it's very much about the game and the gameplay, isn't it?
And
very.
It's a competitive rule set. It is designed as a competitive game. It is designed as a tournament player's game. The movement is precision on it. There is standing jokes. We might have said on this show before. I've definitely said it with people in Carcast and that. There's standing jokes that I don't like the game. I've got no issue with the game. I just don't have the time to learn to play it. I've got over yonder in our legendary display cabinet.
Oh.
I've got a legendary troll army,
Yeah.
and it's painted by the legendary John Bowers.
He is pretty legendary, to be fair.
And it looks great, and I've never ever used them. They've sat in there. Somebody else has used them, but I haven't. I want to. It's just the time that's into it. But Lewis is quite right. It can be daunting. What I would say to that is anyone who thinks that Warmachine might be daunting, make the trip up to WarGames. Do it on a Tuesday. We have Mammoth's Gaming Group in here on a Tuesday night.
They're all
Big shout out to Mammoths. And you know what? Those guys, they do the tournament circuits, and from a Northwest point of view, they're the guys to beat. They're always
absolutely.
When you look at sort of like the top 3 to 6 players in any of the standings, it's always 3 of our guys at least in those top 6. All of them are in the sort of top 12, and so they can play the competitive end of the game, but they're more than happy to sit back and show people that they play the game for the hobby. And most of them actually paint the models as well.
Yeah, I mean they're all little baby angels. I mean I had a go at the game myself, didn't I? And it wasn't for me. There was a lot of maths involved. I'll be honest about that. I had a go of it, and the guys, you know, who were with the Mammoths and everything like that, were so kind and so helpful, and you know, they were very, very respectful of the fact, like, yeah, okay, not for you.
Your guys wants to know what you've done with your hair.
Oh, it's my dad. What have you done to my hair? It looks okay. In fact, legendary.
From your old fella.
Nice one, Dad. Cheers. Nothing. I washed it. To be honest, that was the extent of what I've done there, really. So thank you for all the comments on my hair.
More from the No Retreat 5 gang.
What?
Woo, more from the No Retreat 5
Oh,
gang.
That's what that means. Cool. I love it.
Yeah.
But speaking of No Retreat,
do we
Games
have
Workshop,
a 40k night?
every night is 40k.
To be fair, yes, there's not a dedicated night for anything. Things pigeonhole in. So like tonight being Wednesday, there's guys playing X-Wing upstairs, and they meet every Wednesday. But X-Wing also happens on other days. Just focuses on a Wednesday. Thursday night has become Yu-Gi-Oh tournament night and bolt action night. But then on Sunday they were all playing bolt action.
Yeah.
40k just doesn't have, because it's the biggest of the game systems. It's just an as and when.
Yeah,
Bring an
it's
army
a
down,
very
hit us up.
Yeah.
If you give us some sort of notice via a message on Facebook or whatever, we will endeavour to try and make sure a player is available. And to be fair, segueing into the next segment, it also stands for 30k. We don't get 30k players in the shop
And
anymore.
Sigmar, because that's actually what the next section's about.
Well, it is. The next section is actually about Sigmar, but the guest segues into the 30k bit. See,
Okay,
look,
I'll
he
take
understands
that.
that.
I respect that.
But you know what? You try. At that note, I'm going to move across anyway.
I told you we'd have a guest. Here comes the guest.
So I'm going to move. Am I still on camera?
Are we still on? If not, that's not an issue.
Am I? Or am I half off camera?
You're on camera.
Okay.
Hi guys.
I'm going to move
This
it.
is Philip.
This is Philip.
Philip is my friend from uni. We've known each other for quite some time.
Poor Philip.
hey.
You're all shouting it. You're all saying
Philip.
we've all given the jokes today.
Philip lived with me for 2 years at uni, so he
Really
gets the
popular.
sympathy from everybody. And Adam, he's been like giving
I
him
did
fair
say to you earlier, didn't I? At the point before I found out that you'd lived together for 2 years, I thought you were intellectual, and then found out you'd lived together 2 years, and like, there's no intellect in this boy.
Let's not be horrible to my friends, but
I'm not being
no.
horrible to you, friend. I mean horrible to you.
So the next segment we're going to be talking about is Age of Sigmar. Nudge to Adam for a. Oh, he's done it. He's good, isn't he?
You know what?
He's
on
good,
the
isn't
ball,
he? He
this
knows.
guy,
He knows
isn't
what's
he?
up.
Boom! There's a new backdrop with a big smiley snail.
He's awesome.
Is there a big smiley snail on the backdrop? There is. Cool.
Oh, there is. Okay, no, but
He's cool.
He's hidden by us three, but
we're prettier than the big smiley snail. Hey, so on the topic of specialised box sets and kind of starter sets almost for games, Age of Sigmar have released Blight War, basically Dark Imperium for Age of Sigmar, in essence. Do you not agree?
No.
Why? Oh, go on then.
because
no.
it's so Dark Imperium was just a big release set to launch with 8th edition.
Oh, see, I'm not.
with a
I mean,
huge
in terms
big
of a box
hardback
set.
rule book. Blight War is it's not a campaign set. It's not a replacement to the starter set either. It's I get why you're saying the Dark
Well,
Imperium bit, and
by
you're not
that
a million
logic,
miles.
Then the Warmachine one's not like Dark Imperium at all, which you said it was,
I asked, is it?
and I said not really.
So this is not really either.
Okay, fine.
But this is a collection of exclusive miniatures
Only two.
to enhance your Age of Sigmar experience.
It's a little bit like Stormclaw or was it Shield of Baal?
Yeah,
like a
it's
couple
one
of
of the
years ago when
specialist
it's
box
like
These two are like encyclopedias.
here are
of
some
40K,
models
by the
that
way.
we've already got out. Here are 2 cool characters to go with them that don't currently
That's
exist.
exactly
Yes.
that.
You currently can't buy them anywhere else.
My mum
Travis
says,
Marks.
"Sweetie, you look the same."
I haven't really changed that much in a couple of years.
But
The snail is Gary from
it's going to be
SpongeBob.
fun because
Gary,
basically,
Destroyer of Worlds.
my dad. No, but
That's a snail.
my dad is a snail, but not a snail, but the destroyer of worlds for sure. Essentially, in Blight War, it's all about the Blight War and the wars of the Realm Gates. There's 32 minis split between the two, which makes you think it's going to be uneven numbers because it just says 32 split between the two.
What, there's Gary.
Is that it? Just
there's Gary.
Yeah, 32.
What, there's Gary.
So there's Gary and there's the female Stormcast Eternal. They're the two
His
name I
mini
can't
miniatures,
remember.
aren't they?
Need Black Town.
And
There we go.
female Stormcast, this is great news. Female Stormcast.
Yeah.
At first,
Woo!
I thought she might
gorgeous.
have been an elf,
Thanks.
but then you look closely and she hasn't got like the pointy ears, but she's got very elven features. Now maybe that's just Games Workshop's way of depicting the female face, but she's busty and she's female, and therefore the Geek Boys are all going to love it. And I don't just mean Geeks Wargaming.
Because God knows. Geeks Wargaming who know Philip and have met Philip. I got sent a selfie at a Horus Heresy event of this one on British, like this. So
Hi Rich, hi Rob, hi John.
all of them.
But when are we going to see? So it's great that they've done a female Stormcast.
Yes.
Stormcast aren't a human race. They are transcended deities almost, aren't they, basically? When are we going to see Stormcast dwarves and Stormcast barbarians and Stormcast other things?
Are you calling
You
a
can't-
woman another thing?
No, because I mentioned that we've got here. Stormcast elves. There you go, there's another thing.
Well, you might not. I mean, I've read some of the whatever they're called, the Realm Gate Wars books, the novel series they did.
Yeah.
And if you read through the background, a lot of them start with the characters they follow, a lot of the generals, and a lot of them start them pre becoming Stormcast.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were barbarians and bits and pieces and stuff.
Write this down.
So, yeah, a lot of them were that prior to it. So it'll be interesting to see if they do something like that. But without spoiling anything, there is in Plague Garden, one of the newer books, there is a bit where, slight spoiler warning, one of the Stormcast hurts Nurgle. Not Demon Prince, not anything like that.
You look
Hurts
very
Nurgle himself. However,
Okay, it's alright,
there is a suggestion that one of the Stormcast wants some kind of revenge, and Sigmar isn't going to give it to him to some level. So is he going to go further afield to find help, i.e. turn away to some level?
Yes.
So
Grandpapa Nurgle will just consume.
you might not necessarily see barbarian Stormcast, but there are hints in that book that we may eventually see a little bit like Chaos Space Marines. That some of the Stormcast will,
Fallen Stormcast,
Fallen Stormcast.
heretical Stormcast.
which would be interesting. Obviously, it's only suggested that it's not like this is going to happen.
At the point where
but that'd
that
be cool.
happens, we can just pretty much stick Age of Sigmar and 40k on the same table. I think it's all fair play then. Especially, so the new General's Handbook 2017's out, and boy did things get good. Like literally, there's nothing bad about that 2017 handbook from what I've seen, and I'm not a player of Sigmar.
It's been some cool. It said a few tweaks, and it was not tweaks. We
they
spoke
were
about
massive.
it last week,
So-
and it was.
So disclaimer here, and not that I believe for 1 minute that Frankie or Reese are watching, whatever you are, I'm repeating this based off your podcast on Frontline Gaming that I was listening to yesterday in the car on the way down to Winter's SEO.
You could say it was a legendary plug.
It was a legendary plug.
That's it.
Frontline Gaming, come on guys, they're legendary. Let's show a bit of love for Frankie and Reese. And they were talking about it, and apparently the free folk now, so Britannia is gone. It's just not there anymore. The Empire is just not there anymore.
Not entirely surprised.
So these, but they're going down this whole route. We don't supply models for it. We're getting rid of it. But the free folk now, they can Overwatch on 2s with their repeated crossbowers.
That's cool.
And they take a unit a turn out. That's 40k in Sigmar. that makes those. What are the Stormcast archers called? The Varanguards.
Vanguard.
Vanguard? No, not Vanguard. I think it is Vanguard. Whatever it is, the
The
V-Guard.
prosecutors are the ones.
Oh, the Vanguard are the ones with the repeat, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanguard.
And they shoot like
Takes them even
40k
on.
units.
I was thinking GDKs.
So
The other ones.
there's more and more shooty units coming into what was a spears and swords game, which leaves my poor little goblins looking for some love. I mean, you can shoot what you want. My squigs are lethal. And you know what? Once I finish this demon army, so Antonio's just asked a question in the chat there. Hi Antonio, by the way.
Hi, Antonio.
Thanks for the email last week as well. This is my way of acknowledging it because I'm not going to reply. That sounded really rude and I didn't mean to.
Very, actually.
You put that much in there that I absorb it all, but to write it out would take more time than I'm willing to spend, if I'm completely honest. But keep them coming. Keep them coming. I like them. This is my acknowledgements. That could have gone so much better.
Yeah, we're very appreciative of.
I don't think Antonio's going to stop watching. I probably could say whatever I want to Antonio now, but as long as you're on camera, he's going to carry on watching. That's true. Sent you pink dice and not me.
You're just jealous because you didn't get any dice.
Cut me deep, man. Cut me deep.
I love them. They were used as wound markers.
Anyway. He asked what my favourite 40k army is that I own. Well, he didn't say. Did he say
your
that
favourite 40k army?
My favourite 40k army. Currently, my Nurgle demons. Hence, me getting a little bit upset at the thought of somebody taking a pop at my granddad. And I keep playing with this army, and this is an army that it's a tournament list that's not got any place in a tournament. It's not your Tau Commander spam. It's not your parking lot. It's none of these net listings that we spoke about last week, or whatever it was we spoke about. The meta of 40k. It was a case of, right, what cool models have I got? I've got these converted Heldricks. I want them in there. I've got a Fire Raptor. That works as well. Let's put that in. There's an Airwing. I've got Scabiathax the Plotus. Yes, we're using him. He's 610 points of awesomeness, and he doesn't die. Ask Winters.
Watch the video.
And yeah, be out in 3 weeks. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then giant spawns. They do die. They die really easily, unless you don't deal with them, and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger. The bigger they are, the harder they are to kill. And it's just a crazy weird synergy that goes on, and I'm loving every minute of playing with it because the theme's really nice with it, the fluff aspect to it's really nice, and it's just upsetting people with these meta lists because I don't care about your 4 Tauroxes and your 50 assault cannon shots that you put into me, because I get an invulnerable save, then a disgustingly resilient save.
Disgustingly resilient is amazing.
I'm chill with it. It's great. And then especially when I start rolling ones for it. It's fantastic.
What is your favourite army, my darling?
Oh God, 40k.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
It's going to be them Primaris dudes in it.
Well, I've always been for years I was a Space Wolf player. And I just loved the Lords of Space Wolves.
Little puppies.
I remember, at uni, you'd be sitting painting his little Space Wolves.
I think for me,
I don't want pink dice, Antonio.
For me, it's.
Hi, Rob.
I'm more of a paint. I do enjoy my gaming, but I'm definitely coming at it from a painting point of view. So for me, it's probably generic Space Marines because of the painting opportunities that they give. So not from a gaming point of view, from painting, I just love any sort of Space Marines at the end of the day.
I've put the link to Philip's hobby Instagram in the comments. He makes me sick. He's a very good painter. So check in the description and go follow him on Instagram.
Only the people in the live chat can do it, so we'll actually put it in the main video description as well.
So we can
at some point.
But yeah, so I think Space, just because that probably can include Chaos Space Marines as well. I enjoy my edge highlighting in bits and pieces. So yeah, Space Marine, and just from a painting point of view, I don't know. I haven't really gamed very much recently at all. I play a lot of Heresy.
Well, that's what I mentioned before.
So I play. I've got a Legion list. I've got a Mechanicum list. I've got a Talents of the Emperor list. And they're all very different. But from a painting point of view, at least Space Marines, hand down, I just enjoy painting.
So that leads me to. So yesterday I did the long drive down to Swindon, which should have only been a 3.5 hour turn into nearly a 5.5 hour drive because of closed motorways and such.
Well, you had to drive up from Southampton, the drill, that was awful.
I wasn't a million miles away from it, and so I drove down to go and play against Winters. We filmed a battle report which will be out in a few weeks, Really interesting battle. And I took the demons I've just spoken about. But then we filmed a little bit of an interview with him and me. A question chat rather than an interview. So Winter's SEO. If any of you have been living under a rock,
he's also legendary.
40k.
He's legendary. He is legendary.
Do you know what? He's out of this planet legendary. As are all my sponsors.
Most of them.
Seeing as most of them are in the room, I have to say that. Not Necrons. So I went to play against Winters, and he's got a rather large YouTube channel at the moment. His subscription base.
God, Nick, rude. Special guest.
Nick's obviously coming later.
This is Philip. Philip is very, very knowledgeable, very big gamer, very, very good painter, fan of the hobby, and also one of my friends from uni who I've known for like 5 years. There you go.
Moving swiftly on. So Winters has a big subscription base. He's got a great narrative sense to his channel. He stays away from the tournament-esque playlists and plays out narrative games. But anyway, he went on demand a few weeks back, and it was a proper turmoil choice for him. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Should I do it? Do you know what? It's £2.99 a month. I'm going to plug it on here now. Go and subscribe to Winter's SEO on demand. It will cost you £2.99 a month, but you do get extra content that the regular channel doesn't. The regular channel's still getting all the battle reports and everything. You just get more Winters, which in a good way
isn't a bad thing. Isn't a bad thing at all.
You know
this is how the world
legendary.
ends. It's legendary. But also for doing it, every month or thereabouts, he will do a video with a code word. The code word will then get you a further 5% off at WarGames.
That's
because obviously we sponsor
us.
them. So that means your GW products all of a sudden are 20% off RRP. If you spend £60 in 1 month on the GW side of the hobby, forget everything else. Bear in mind it covers all the other ranges plus the paints and everything else. But if you get the extra 5% off at £60 a month, that means Winters is free. If you don't spend £60 a month on GW Hobby, then you're probably not actually hobbying. It is difficult to remain in this hobby unless you're Nick Beer and you get everything sent to you for free, because he's also legendary.
Legendary.
And you just get this stuff sent to you. At £2.99, spend £60, Winters is free. Go and do it. Where that all fits in is I had this chat with him, which is for his on-demand subscribers, a bit of an insight to a business owner, and the question was, which I'm going to put to you now, because you're a 30k player, is the first part of it was, what was the impact that 8th editions had on the store? Like, has it been successful? Yes, it has. That was the easiest question I've ever been asked. Does a bear crap in the woods? That's the same shit. I said crap, not shit. And so damn it, I just got over 40k.
You've got some questions is what I had, so don't worry about it.
But then the question then went on to what impact do I think it's had on games like Sigmar and 30k? Now my response to it was, we'd seen with the bloated mess that was 7th edition, we'd seen a decline in 40k sales and players, but an increase in Sigmar. We don't sell Forge World because they don't give a trade license, so we couldn't really compare it with that. But there were people talking a lot more about Heresy. 8th came out, our Sigmar sales dropped as 8th came out. Now that might be because they were waiting for 2017 handbook, or it might just be because everybody, including people who haven't played for 20 years, have jumped back into 40k. The hobby is.
But we had so many people saying, didn't we? It's getting me back into it. I haven't played in X amount of years. I'm getting back into
Lewis
it.
is saying he just got over 40k now, and now he wants to get back in.
Yeah.
And it is drawing people in. But as a 30k player and as 30k community member, the fact that you're now using, dare I say, an old rule set. Because it's not. It's its own thing.
I mean, Forge are releasing their own rulebook for it, which is basically a reprinted 7th edition book with some bits and pieces removed from it and put into it and tidied up.
You don't think they'll just go 8th?
they have said specifically at the moment they won't go 8th. I think
that's my problem.
I think at some point in the far, I mean, obviously, unfortunately, early this year, Alan Blythe, so the lead author for Forge, died.
That's a massive,
and that was a massive blow to them.
To the community.
Which is a real shame, and obviously you can tell from the open day and bits and pieces, it has pushed stuff back, and I think they're taking a time.
Well, he was the driving force behind 30k, wasn't he?
So I think we might see 8th at some point, and this is more me hypothesising. I think we might see it at some point, but I think Forge are going to take the time now to. They've got a rule set they know works. They'll flow with that for a couple of years.
How many Primarchs are we on now? Released Forge Wheel Primarchs. Are we on 12? 10?
We've not got
Dawn,
Alferis. The ones that have rules. We haven't got Dawn and Alferis.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
And Alferis was in the first book as well, wasn't it?
Second book or something. Yeah, they've been.
What is their problem?
There's that one.
That's a model screaming to be made.
Well, everyone in the chat saying the 7th edition works better for 30k. In terms of, Nick saying it, Geeks are saying it, that it's a better fit. What do you make of that?
I haven't played. I know there's a fan-written set of 8th edition rules out there for Heresy.
Okay.
There is one where, because obviously a lot of the big tanks have got books. That is true. They're gorgeous models.
They are, yeah. Somebody just said that regardless of the game, the models are just good. And that's Forge World, isn't it? They just make nice models.
Nick and Geeks have just said that 7th edition, it does work well. I played an event recently. It's a different game. I think now the nice thing is that it's not. I think there was a big thing about. Yeah, the line hasn't got rules yet though. So that was from models that don't. None of the Primarchs that haven't been released are the Lion, Sigismund.
We all know his name's Lionel. I don't care what anyone says.
Don't be surprised. My money's still on him for next 40k Primarch after
potentially. But we've got.
I think it's going to be
Sanguinius, the Lion, Ducati, Alferis, and Dawn. I think are the only 5 that haven't been released for 40k.
Have they done Sanguinius yet?
No. But I mean, he's going to be amazing.
Is he?
I hope so. I hope so.
They have failed once or twice with these Primarchs.
I hope so, because he's going to be.
So Lorgar, they failed hugely.
He's going to have to be gorgeous.
But the hype. I am no Blood Angels fan. Nick, get typing and agree with me right here because I know you're feeling on Blood Angels. But I have got no favour for the Blood Angels. But the lore and history behind Sanguinius, any artwork that we've seen of Sanguinius, the only model that's got to outdo Sanguinius has got to be the Emperor's model when they make that. And to be fair, they nailed it with Gilliman. Forge World Gilliman was amazing, and his basic was fantastic. Horus, fantastic. Not a fan of Russ, not a fan of Vulcan, not a fan of Lorgar. Or Magnus was alright, to be fair.
I think Ross, I kind of agree with Ross, which is a shame because I'm a Space Wolf player. Ross looks so much better on the scenic base with Magnus because his pose suddenly makes sense. Have you seen the scenic base with Russ and Magnus?
Yes, when you put them together.
When you put them together, and he
looks.
Base
is 40 quid just for the base.
But it looks. There's actually a story there, and Russ all of a sudden his pose makes sense. But I do agree.
Yeah.
With him by himself, he does have.
Yeah, and the idea was always to play him by himself, not to. Yeah. And those scenic bases are great. I mean, they did it for Loken and Abaddon, didn't they? That was the first one.
Yeah.
And then I think they had one.
Ferris and Fulgrim's bases match.
Ferris and Fulgrim.
But they don't have a scenic.
And they're both. Ferris Manus is a great model, and I like the Fulgrim model as well. And they're some of the older ones. Matarian, I've got Matarian, the 30k Matarian. When I saw it, I wasn't impressed with that because I don't think Forge World did a particularly great paint job on it. Which is maybe just a Matarian thing, because Matarian is almost upon us. I can't tell you about the release date for Matarian. I can't tell you when it goes up for pre-order. But the second week in September, when we start selling them, then you're going to be absolutely made up, because this model is an £80 model, and it's just... Oh, it's stunning. It's such a nice model.
So you should probably go and, Winter's SEO on demand so you can get 5% off that.
Well, yeah, that would make sense. Pay $2.99 to Winters and get off it.
I got you.
What
back,
you won't
Winters.
be able to do is any of our legendary discounts that we do each week will not apply to... They won't work in conjunction. So you won't be able to subscribe to Winters to get 5% off.
Also, the release date's in White Dwarf, so it's cool. Pre-order.
It is, but I don't think White Dwarf's out yet.
Friday.
oh yeah, some people will have dropped early, some people will have got it today. Because apparently, and I had this argument with Games Workshop, contentious camera, don't know, go and do it anyway.
No, please no.
Is they had a go at us.
Stop it.
Because some of our Dark Imperium products arrived a day early.
Stop it.
After they'd shown it all. And yet when customers were receiving White Dwarf a week early, and I answered, well, how come your customers are receiving it early? Oh, because it's not our fault if the courier company drops it early. But it's my fault when the courier company drops it early. And they had no argument. That was a small win for WarGames. It's probably backfired somewhere. But anyway,
let's go on to some other questions from people.
My whole point behind it was they painted the Forge World Mortarion quite badly and didn't do the model justice. I bought it anyway because it's Mortarion. And I was like, this is actually really cool. Model, just painted badly by them.
But
the GW pictures that we've seen of Mortarion, the paint scheme's far too bright for Death Guard. It's just,
but
it's not happy clappy.
It's one of those Games Workshop, I suppose, staples of any vague leaks, any of those bits and pieces. It's slightly shoddy camera work, and
it is, it is.
Poor photo angles. GW still hasn't nailed the
angles.
No, just I've seen so many models where, and even things like, so I've got a Redemptor and I've got a Repulsor. And I know we're having a chat earlier that you're not a massive fan of the models, but I was like, nah, I saw the models. I was like, well, I kind of want the Redemptor because it's cool. I can't want a Repulsor because I kind of like it. Yeah. And then having built and painted them, or in the process of painting my Repulsor, they are so much nicer in the flesh than the photos make them out to be.
And that's not just GW, by the way. That is everything. Unless you've got something that's being painted by like literally a top end, but the heavy metal team are good painters. I'm not knocking them; they paint to a standard above me. But as you say, with a mixture of photography and everything else that lets it down, I've just got a different scheme. I'm getting a shop Mortarion, which means Martin's having a Mortarion that the shop pays for. But I'm having him, and he's not being painted in those colours. I was excited for him. Do you know what I think he's going to be? I think he's going to be legendary.
Legendary. Let's go to some questions from our legendary viewers.
Yeah, let's do questions. What have we been on now? 40 minutes? Yeah,
yes.
40
so
minutes.
We'll go to questions.
Time.
So
what was the third? We had another back.
We have, but
we'll
do questions first, and then we'll
questions,
go to that.
Then back to the back to the Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I'm surprised Finn's not on nagging about Magic. So
is that what we're doing? Waiting for Finn?
No.
The Death Guard down.
So a question came in from my papa. It's actually a good question, quite insightful, which is, wonders never cease. He said, has the release of Dunkirk and this massive influx of younger people watching war films and getting involved with them affected the bolt action scene in the shop?
Yes,
we're literally talking to Philip about buying bolt action.
Yeah, I'm thinking mainly because I do mostly GW stuff, so I'd actually have to paint something that's not so much the models, the colour schemes.
Yeah.
Something something more realistic as opposed to something that is
something fantasy. Yeah, fantasy sci-fi, whatever you want to call it. It's non-real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think
Well, what our Escalation League wrapped up this week, actually, my mum would be so proud. Actually,
Georgie,
wraps up on. Here we go. Look, buy it. This is Fozzie. He's like our big bolt action player who arranged the league. It was a great fun, massive battle at the end of it.
Fozzie's a sergeant.
Fozzie's a sergeant.
Yeah.
This is good. See, and if he's saying you should buy it, then you should buy it.
Yeah, and so I hadn't put. Good question, guys. Well done, son.
Props to you, Dad.
Go ahead, lad. And I hadn't put any attachment to that film. I've not seen the film yet because that idiot Harry Styles is
I
in
will
it.
fight you on camera and I will win.
I can't say whether he can act yet. I will check. Can't sing, probably can't act. But he can lip sync. He can.
I saw them live and that was the happiest day of my life, and I cried like 6 times, and it was amazing. I should not have revealed that on camera, but that's okay.
We're about to drop viewers. Technical difficulties.
But no, I mean, a lot of people have been getting more into it, actually, haven't they?
Yeah, and is it as a direct relation to that? There probably is going to be some of that spilling over. I think because, as with anything, so when people we moved the fantastic, the legendary board that the legendary Mel Bose, the terrain tutor, made for us. We moved the D-Day board into the window, and
so many
bolt
more
action went boom, and it jumped up.
Well, I've given a
'Cause it
lot more
sells.
bolt action demos in the past month or so
You're giving demos? Good girl.
than I've given, in a long time. And it's nice because it's one of those things. Once something comes into popular culture, a lot more people play it. It's as simple as that.
So because the Escalation League was happening and people were playing it, more people were asking about it, and there could be some correlation with the film as well. And everybody, young and old, you don't have to be a war film fan. Now I know your dad loves his history,
Well,
loves his Second
he
World
even wants
War.
to get into it,
But
and he.
Everybody likes some aspect of World War II, whether it be novels
I think
or movies
likes
or
an
whatever.
interesting one.
No, I mean, as a genre.
Yeah.
Hitler didn't like it. Let's
Put
be honest.
Necrons in the window. No, Nick!
There is actually Necrons in the window.
There actually are.
Or even if it's alternate World War II.
Like Conflict War
Conflict, Wolfenstein, stuff like that. Even
I love
there
Wolfenstein.
is stuff people have that interest in that time period.
Yeah.
But by putting it in the window and by having people playing it, it grows. And there's no rocket science in the fact that if you demo people on a game, they're more likely to buy it. We know this, and it's something that we do fall short of here in WarGames, which is something we're rectifying. And once Bob starts to whoever Bob ends up being the new managerial role, Zav's asking what Bob
I know.
really does.
I'm going to make his death like an accident.
And once he starts, one of the remits is going to be to push demos. Not because we're trying to push sales down people's throats, but we miss so much business opportunity by not showing people how to play a game. A box sells a lot, a demo sells everything, and it does.
It does. Well, I mean,
it works. Yeah. So you've been doing bolt action demos. We've been selling bolt action. It goes hand in hand.
And the other thing is also is that the more people that do it, the more
Slide your chair forward ever so slightly. I just don't know whether that's waving in the background.
the more people that do something, the more people do it. It
Yeah,
sounds
it's
really silly.
contagious. It's the
but,
ripple effect, isn't it?
you know,
It expands out. And
I mean, even at my local GW in Southampton, we had, or in the shop, they've got loads of 40k stuff in the shop, in all the cabinets at the moment.
Yeah.
And okay, obviously 8th has come out, and we've got the big summer campaign going on, but there was far more 8th being talked about in 40k, and even Heresy some level being talked about in the shop than Age of Sigmar was. Now imagine if we had a big Age of Sigmar campaign on, there's been some amazing stuff. All the cabinets for Age of Sigmar, people would probably be talking about Age of Sigmar more than 40k because they're just more around it. It would just be.
You've been selling so much Blood Bowl as well because you've got the Blood Bowl tournament coming up and people are in the shop
Segue!
building it. And but we've got to get more questions first. We'll come back onto that.
No.
Okay.
Let's do Blood Bowl tournament right now, then back into questions.
Blood Bowl tournament is happening. It's going to be exciting. 10th of Sept. We've got very, very, very few tickets left. So this is like your last chance. We've got, I think,
5 tickets left?
5 or 4 tickets left.
Okay. There's not many.
Yeah.
£10. £10.
£10, £5 if that goes into the prize pot straight away. So it's it's pretty cool.
1.2 million to spend.
1.2 to spend.
Now allowing strategy cards.
Yes. Strat cards are there included, I think. We need to get some
We need
clarification.
to double check.
On that
I haven't seen Dave in the chat tonight.
11
Liverpool
players,
player,
1 reserve. Skills are 40k gold. I shouldn't say 40k, 40,000. They're normally 20, but they're 40 for this one.
Okay, and
So-
you're only allowed 1 of each skill, is that right? Or one
I
of each
think-
magic item. Something like. Listen, go onto our Facebook page, look on our events. It's there. The rules pack's in there. Any questions, fire them across, and Dave will answer. At the end of the day, he knows what he's doing with it. Dave is playing in the Blood Bowl tournament.
His name is on the list. Is Dave the Hitman Maddox.
Yeah.
So he's
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, as far as he is concerned. It's up to the other 15 players to prove him wrong. Dave's arrogance, and I hope he's watching this. Dave's arrogance.
Don't piss him off, because then the shop will shut down.
No,
if you
he knows straight away. So his arrogance, and we've laughed about it, is that he's played hardly a single game of Blood Bowl since it came out. But he's still confident that he is that good at the game that he's going to win this. So much so that he's written his team down in its entirety before anyone submitted the teams. He sealed it in an envelope and given it to Jay, who's also playing in the league. And he said, regardless of what people put in, I can't change that team now. So he's committed himself to a team, won't tell us what it is. He's committed himself to a team, and he's confident in in the way that only Dave can be, that he's going to win.
And also in the only the way that Dave can back up as well.
To be fair,
you should have that.
To be fair, if I was taking bets on it, I'd actually put my money on Dave anyway.
Or Stuart.
No disrespect to any of the other players that are in there. Yeah, Stuart can play. Stuart understands the game. Don't doubt that for a minute. He's not Dave.
No one's Dave.
Dave's not Dave. Do you know what Dave is?
Legendary. Back to the questions, because we are running
Questions,
short
yeah.
on time. Fate of Conor campaign and store. What have we been working toward? What have we been doing?
Nothing.
How are we feeling about it?
So we've done, in honesty, we've done nothing with it. Fate of Conor is the Games Workshop campaign. I bought the pack for it. That's as much as I did. And it sort of, it came on the crest of the wave of 8th, which was arguably
That
a
was
good
poetic.
move, arguably a bad move. There was that much going on in store with 8th edition, with the Northwest Open coming up, with other things happening, that we didn't have time to push. A few people asked us. We've been watching the weeks unfold, but you know what? No one that's been in here said, "Oh, can we do it?" Because no matter how it's structured, we have like a passcode that if you come in and you play a game, it's either good or evil wins, and we put in the code and we send it off, and Games Workshop narrate the next part of the story based on these worldwide results. I'm a Chaos player. If I want to, I'll just put that code in 500 times a day, and
So we can't have nice things.
But I won't do it, and I haven't done it. But it happened last year with Sigmar, and it didn't work. And for that reason, I've not put any effort in. The reason I bought the kit is because the dice bags are cool. I got me a Nurgle dice bag.
Have you not seen
No,
the
I've
dice
seen
bags?
them.
They're
I got a
gorgeous.
Nurgle dice bag.
I know.
It's legendary.
They are really nice. They are really nice.
Shall we explain to people why we keep saying legendary?
I think it's pretty obvious why we keep
No,
saying
I don't mean
legendary.
about that. I mean where that came from.
Okay, last question before we do.
Okay, questions.
Rob done.
Rob done. Rob, the cards arrived.
Um,
Going to get them priced up over the next day or so.
new kind of releases that will or maybe not be imminent, who knows, community page, say what. Are you going to keep with your
Yes,
Chaos?
Joe.
What?
Joe's just said that campaign should have been released for October based on their releases. Yes, when a few codexes had hit the ground, and so.
Are you going to stick with your Chaos Space Marine list or go for a Death Guard codex, if that would potentially
Me?
be? Yes.
I'm Death Guard all the way. So, in 7th edition points, I've got 20,000+ points of Death Guard and Nurgle Demons. So, if I ever get round to putting it together, then it's the way forward. What I'm already looking at with the leaks that have come through from the Death Guard Codex is big units of Cataphracti Terminators, which I've got lots of the Forge World ones from 30k, all with magnetised arms. So they're not Grave Wardens. Yes, they are. The Grave
Wardens or Death Shrouds?
Death Shrouds, Matarians, Guard.
Death Shroud,
isn't
yeah,
it?
with the
So the
Grave
Grave Wardens have the big
flamethrower thingy, grenade launcher, whatever it is, and power fists.
So I've magnetised them so that they come off and they can have normal Chaos weapons and arms, which means I've already got my Forge World Cataphracti ready to rock. I haven't got them fully built, I haven't got them fully painted, but I haven't got them even prime, never mind fully painted. But they're there, and I've got about 60 of the things upstairs because I had a. My name's Martin, and I've got a problem. It is Forge World.
I think one of the other things that with the Death Guard Nurgle bits and pieces is that with 8th, the way you can build detachments and stuff, you don't have to have a Death Guard army. It's so easy to have a Death Guard conditionment and a Demons. I know it's very similar.
You can. Well,
but
my current list is the Air Wing detachment is Death Guard.
Yeah.
Keyword Nurgle. So aligned to Nurgle, then they're not Death Guard. They're just Heretic Astartes Nurgle. But then the rest of it is Chaos Demons Nurgle.
Yeah. You don't have to have.
But you can finally mix and little Abaddon, he'd be proud, wouldn't he? Because you could finally have Emperor's Children with World Eaters, with Word Bearers, with Night Lords, Thousand Suns. You could have a couple of units of each, all bringing their own special thing to the table, all on the table together, working in synergy. That's cool. I'm going to do that.
That's legendary.
That's legendary. But I'm going to write my own set of rules where they all start fighting each other on a one, like Goblin Animosity.
Do you know why we keep saying legendary, guys. Because I'm going to segue now into our final point, because we don't have
less subtle than normal.
a lot of time left.
We have as long as we want. Antonio wants to watch for 2 hours, as always.
As some of you may know in the chat, I know Lee is in there, I know a few other people are au fait with Magic the Gathering. New set, Ixalan, coming out very soon. Spoilers obviously being released. If you go and check on Mythic Spoiler, as per usual, they're going to have lots of elite cards and stuff. There's some pretty cool things coming out. But the most important thing that has come out is legendary planeswalkers are a thing now.
It's, to quote Mr. Baker from Tabletop Tactics, it's big.
It's big, man. It is.
It's big.
It's going to potentially break.
It breaks modern instantly.
Depends. Well, essentially, you planeswalkers in Magic are normally just planeswalker, then the name. However, they've added legendary to, like, as a prefix, and so all the old planeswalkers are being errated to be now legendary planeswalkers. In Magic, you cannot have two of the same kind of named planeswalker at the same time.
So if you've got Jace Verlin...
No, don't say Jace. We'll go for Chandra because she's my favourite.
Too late.
What?
You've got Jace Verlin, Jace Vryn's Prodigy, and Jace Mind Sculptor. Well, Mind Sculptor's banned and everything, isn't he? Or Jace Unraveler of Secrets. They are all planeswalker Jace or Jace planeswalker. You can only have any one of them out at a time. So you'd have to, as you went to cast Berylin, you'd get rid of Vryn's Prodigy or whatever it might be, unless it flipped over and had a different name, which was possible. But it was all very confusing. If you wanted to do Chandra so that you're not like a spoiled little puppy.
Chandra Nalar, love of my life. So, Flamecaller.
Flame red hair like you, but you're not Ginge.
You could have Torch of Defiance and Flamecaller at the same time, which is pretty big because
it's huge.
In Modern, especially now, because obviously with Ixalan and this new mechanic, 4 sets are going to rotate out. 2 blocks, 4 sets. So this means that Liliana Vess, who we all love to hate, we love her, she's cool. You're going to be able to get 2 Lilianas out at the same time. You're going to be able to have Last Hope and Touch Bethlehem. Oh, hey, that was fun. And Lily of the Veil, which basically means you've got some pretty kind of mad ball control going on in Modern there, because
the glasses act funny in the green screen, don't forget.
Oh, do they? They look really weird. I have my glasses. I'll put them back up on my head. That's okay. But it's going to make a difference, and Gideon especially is going to be particularly OP for it. But if you have 2 Lilianas out, you've got Last Hope who stops creatures and makes them weaker. You've got Lily of the Veil, who makes you sack creatures and things like that. So that's going to be crazy in Modern if you get 2 Lilies out at the same time. What?
When did you become this font of magic knowledge? Do you know what? I don't know right now whether I'm proud of this game or whether I'm absolutely disappointed.
I say this is the point where I say this goes all over my head because I haven't ever played Magic ever.
Keep it that way.
I've
already got so much better hobbies.
It's going to be. Wouldn't the different card name keep them in play as legendary? Would only remove the first play. Well, you're allowed to have more than one legendary planeswalker. Is that right, Adam?
Yeah. So you still can't have 2 Vryn's Prodigy.
So I couldn't have 2 Chandra Flamecallers out, but I could have Chandra Flamecaller and Chandra Torch of Defiance.
Yes,
because it's the same card name, not name of the individual planeswalker.
Yes. Is that right? Yes.
Do you doubt me?
Adam off camera.
Planeswalker rule.
Yes.
I'm replacing it with legendary. So currently in a vampire deck I ran, I had Olivia mobilised for war. And she was a legendary vampire, which meant I could only have 1 Olivia out. So if I wanted to drop another Olivia down, I had to get rid of the Olivia that I already had out. Because you can't have 2 of the same legendary creature. So you can't have 2 of the exact same Planeswalker card. You can have 4 in your deck, but you can only have 1 on the battlefield at a time. But in theory, and there's got to be at least 8 to 10 different prints of Jace over the history of the game.
No one likes Jace. But,
so in theory, you could... Planeswalker Commander deck is going to be a thing now.
Well, Commander's going to be very, very different because there is a card in Commander. It's called Empress Galdina. Is it pronounced Galdina? Empress Galdina. It is. And basically what that does, that card allows you to take control of target legendary permanent, which now means that you could have taken control of someone's legendary creature, but it now means you can take control of somebody's Planeswalker. and you can use them as your own planeswalker. So in Commander, that's going to be pretty intense. That's going to be quite.
There is in Commander. It's all about tribal decks, isn't it? And there is a planeswalker tribal deck where your deck is literally just full of planeswalkers.
Super Friends.
It's the Super Friends.
And Super Friends.
The problem's always been is that you can't have more than one Jace or more than one Lily or more than one Chandra, more than one Gideon, more than one.
Gideon's a mech. He's just a hench dude who's useless.
You can't have all these
Adam's
different
nodding.
dudes
I hate
out.
him.
You can't have Adam's Gale and Nissa out more than once.
Nahiri.
But now they can all play together. So you can have, which is a bit. I don't know whether I like it now. I'm thinking about it.
But the thing is, a lot of people who, especially people that play Modern, are kind of like, they're going to have to do something about that, because if you get both those Lilies out or both those, imagine if you could have all of the Gideons out with the Gideon, the card.
It's going to make Modern faster and more broke than it already is.
But the thing is, you can have the Gideon out that's like, with this card in play, you can't win the game, you can't lose the game. And you can have him out, you can have his bros out who do X amount. It would be absolutely mad. But what I think they've done is because Jace's ultimate in the new set is...
He's not that good, Pirate Jace, is he?
He's got no shirt on, it's weird. He's
just not that good a card.
Well, his
I read a Magic card.
Really?
Bigger.
That's amazing. But his ultimate allows you to make 2 copies of him. So I'm pretty sure that's why they did it, right? Because I was talking to Adam about it and about how it can be a thing. Because like,
they're
the
all
stories
copies without the word legendary, aren't they?
Behind, the stories in Magic are really, really cool. The lore, I really,
that bit is good.
Like.
It ain't no 40k, but it's all right.
Yeah,
and
but then
you
you've got
can
Nahiri,
audio listen to it all.
Who got like so pissed off with some dude, she just killed everyone with some stone and then sent a spaghetti monster to kill everyone. I love her. She's
Hell
my
hath
favourite.
no fury like a woman scorned.
Literally, but
she got a bunny rabbit. She put it in a big boiling pot.
But it's like Pirate Tribal is saying there, because Tribal's a massive thing. That's going to be really big with Ixalan. Dinosaurs, pirates.
I'm still not playing.
But no, it's going to be really interesting because Adam and I were talking about it, and we think the reason that it's going to happen is because you're a wizard.
Harry.
You're a wizard, Jace.
You're a wizard, Jace. No, you're a wizard, Sue. A wizard. Shut up. No. So you can. I'm really tired. You can summon like past versions of yourself from different planes, versions of yourself from different times, and that might be how they're kind of getting into it. I don't know, but it's a thing now.
Do you know what? They've just got to keep it fresh, haven't they? They've got to keep doing something to keep these people hooked.
Harry was like, I'm a wizard? Yes, you're a wizard, Harry.
Before we go, because we are on the hour mark, we say we're going to keep this to an hour, and I weirdly thought tonight might be a short show, but it wasn't.
It's got between you two. It was never going to be a short show, was it?
Are we going to take 5 minutes and talk about Game of Thrones?
Some people haven't watched it, so I feel bad, but also, oh my god.
Do you know what? It's an hour in, so the show's officially finished. So those of you that don't want to hear about Game of Thrones, turn off now. All you're going to miss is us talking about the Game of Thrones and then saying, bye, see you next week. So those of you that are going to go now,
is it finished?
Bye, see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
And in 10 seconds, we're going to start talking about Game of Thrones. 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
8.
I want to talk about it.
7. 6.
They don't even watch it.
5.
It's fine. I'll chip in. Dragons are
4.
cool.
Bye, Harry.
3. 2. 1. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh.
And anyway, Game of Thrones.
God. It could have been.
Best scene in the worst episode of the season.
Oh yeah.
Just going to say that.
That man could drag me over hot coals.
That's not the scene
I
I was on about.
I would thank him.
That is not the scene I was on about. So the Dragon Pit scene, that was the most intense bit of script, and I've got to say, with the exception of Daenerys, phenomenal acting that I've seen. I just don't think that girl can act.
I want Cersei Lannister to kill me. I love her. She's so cold and brutal. I would, if she killed me, I would go happy. I love her. Yeah. I love her. I watched a video on Facebook, and it explains about the behind the scenes of this Dragon Pit scene, which it's epic. So we've grown with these characters for anything up to 70 hours, an hour an episode for 7 seasons, 10 episodes. And how many pages?
Yeah. We are fully immersed in these people.
I would like no. I stopped myself then, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You'd like Jon Snow to be fully immersed. Anyway, moving on. You made the camera jump.
That's Adam's reaction. Stop talking about him like that.
But so Peter Dinklage, who's playing Tyrion, which I can't get used to hearing him in an American voice. He said he was petrified as Cersei shot him the look, even though he knew it was acting. He actually felt scared because there was that. These people have been acting on and off with each other for 7 seasons now, but for the first time they've all been on set together. Apparently, because we were all on set together, they were all in the same hotel. Apparently, that was a really messy night. they literally
messy as that boat trip.
Yeah. As messy as that boat trip. There was stuff.
Like, I don't support incest as a rule.
But he doesn't know. And she doesn't know. So it's alright.
But I'm happy because...
At what point is it incest? Before or after you know that it's your cousin or your auntie?
Auntie! But I've been saying to people, if my friend James is watching, he'd know this, because he knows that, like, that
what, that you're
theory,
incest and you've slept with your cousins?
No. That theory was my life about John and his lineage and his parents. And I was just, like... I've been saying it over and over again, and they was, oh, but you don't know, so you can't say. I'm like, I do know, I have known for so long. And then they admitted it, and Adam will vouch for this. I was like, I told you all.
But
I became the Mad King.
And there's my problem with it. So for such an important, possibly the most important bit of news that we've had in 7 seasons, and there's a lot happened in 7 seasons, and it's just kind of brushed over. A sex scene with Bran talking in his weird emo voice. But the dragon pit scene that was brilliant. Brienne going to the Hound and chatting to him, and then them sort of like both being proud of Arya. Huron and Theon.
How do you
the Hound going
plead?
To the mountain.
Lord Baelish.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Yes.
Littlefinger's dead, and this is priceless. I can't stand that prick. And he's gone.
I'm excited.
He was an arse in book 1.
Daenerys turning up late on a dragon, and when
that's how Cersei started showing up to work.
Fuming, and she turned around. She goes, "We have been here for some time. Apologies." And that's all you got. And for the first time, she could act because she only had to say one word and keep a straight face.
Don't forget, marrying cousins was acceptable and common in medieval times to keep wealth and power in the family. True, but banging your auntie on a boat wasn't commonplace, to my knowledge.
Know.
To be fair, she's only a woman.
And Jamie knew that they were making this maybe baby. But
I
then
think
Jamie's going to go over to Tyrion.
Jamie is a free elf. He's been... How many times the episode was I like, oh, don't do it. Yeah. Oh, no. I thought she was going to kill Jamie.
Oh, I thought when the mountain pulled the sword, I was like...
Hey, I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
He's going to chop his head off. Make it more inappropriate if you want.
Theory. Tyrion has set up his plan to keep the Lannister name alive and has betrayed Dany after his talks with Cersei. He knows what he has done and screwed either way. Well, I need to know what happened with the whole
Tyrion for the throne.
My mum is in love. If she's still watching, my mum.
Tyrion for the throne. So,
Antonio,
we've been talking... Sorry, go on, Antonio.
They're not cousins, she would be his aunt because Rhaegar Targaryen, who was her brother, had his marriage with Martell, annulled, and then Rhaegar, married Lyanna Stark, who was Jon Snow's mother.
He's not a bastard. But we were saying before, I was chatting with Arnie, my cousin, this morning, about it. How they're going to end. So they've only got 6 episodes to do the fight between the living and the dead, then the fight for the throne. And then however they end it, this just isn't going to be a fan favourite the way they end it. So they should just end it like the Italian Job.
No!
They should just end it like the Italian Job, where you don't know how it ends. You're going to make your own decisions. Because otherwise, any way they do it is going to get an equal measure of like and dislike. Unless the Night King wins.
Han Solo dies in season 7.
Unless the when
there's Chewie turn up help.
The Night King wins, which would be very Game of Thrones. The baddies win, but it would just even me who always roots for the bad guys just isn't right.
But like my mom, obviously, is watching this. the dragon knew that Jon Snow was Targaryen based upon the look, and when he like stroked his nose, there must have been some kind of. Well, what's interesting, I've seen a couple of things knocking about on the internet. Tulliver, they got married both his sisters, so John banging Dany. To be fair, Dan, yeah, on with that. But
it's all just a little bit weird back in there, isn't it? There hasn't been much public outcry about Cersei and Jaime, and that's just public knowledge to the whole of Westeros now, isn't it? But
I mean, it's interesting because in the books, Tyrion is described as having slightly white hair. And as we know, he has also gotten close to a dragon and given it a bit of a snuggling. What could that mean? Oh, say what?
With Tyrion.
Ooh, he could be some kind of like Targaryen also.
Tyrion's just...
Exactly, but Vianar free from the Mirren Crypts. Interesting. Sansa for the throne? No, Sansa pisses me off, sorry.
Yeah, do you know what?
Sorry, Michael, I don't like she annoys me.
I wouldn't be upset if she was the next one to die. I just think they've got... I know they're saying that it's going to be 1.5 hour episodes, but it took 7 seasons to get to this point, and they've rushed the hell out. 7 episodes in season 7.
It's fast travel throughout the series.
I think they rushed it so much that they've made mistakes. We were talking with some customers in before, and we were saying that, and because Laura was in before, she's a writer, and we were saying that the plot holes in the script are massive. So the zombies can't walk, and this is Dave, not me.
My mum said this as well. My mum said this to her credit.
If the zombies can't swim,
how do they put the chains on the dragon?
How do they put the chains on the dragon? More importantly, where did the chains come from? Did they sort of, as they packed to leave, did they turn around and go, right, so we've got our toothbrush, we've got our wash bags, we've got a change of clothes, we've got some spare undies. Oh, we best get those big, huge, 100-foot heavy-duty chains.
Do people not take those with them?
Just in case we happen to get us a dragon. Why did the dragon not just fly out the ice? They could have, I don't know.
Because he wouldn't have been able to switch it to...
Well, he should have swam down, touched it, and then flew out on it.
Oh, stupid.
But the White Walkers can't swim, or just the zombies can't swim?
But basically, I mean, it was...
Listen, we're 10 minutes over time now. We could talk about this all night. Maybe we should do a separate Game of Thrones
cast a second.
Yeah, WarGames Thronecast.
Did you not see this one?
I thought the chains came from the pickup truck that supposedly got left in the back.
Yes, have you seen the truck?
Yes.
There's a photo. There's a car in one of the rings
chains
as well.
is Deus Ex Machina, yeah.
Yeah, so Dan's saying they can't... Yeah, so Pirates of the Caribbean, they walk along the bed. So, yeah, they could do that there, I suppose.
Shut up, Will! Okay, Daenerys said to Drogo that she will see him when the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. The only way she can see him is to die. So is it the sun or the sun will rise? This could mean Jon. I'm such a hoe for conspiracy theories. Banging your auntie on a boat. Georgina, please assist. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mama. Oh, come on. If I could
wants to do it.
If I could show them the messages you sent me after that, Mother. Yeah.
All those elocution lessons out the window there, Jack.
But no.
She's up north now, girl.
That man.
Yeah, maybe we should do.
But late in 2019, yeah.
No, now talking about the first. Let's watch them live and narrate over them. Anyone who hasn't seen, by the way, go onto YouTube. After you've liked and everything, us and all our Instagram pages and blah 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 blah, go onto YouTube and do Samuel L. Jackson Game of Thrones.
It's brilliant.
And it's Samuel L. Jackson's take in Samuel L. Jackson's typical character of seasons. It's only like 1 to 5, isn't it? Where it's sort of like, dragons, remember them, we're coming back to them, they're important. Dragon Lady, Daenerys, remember her, we're coming back to her. And it just, in his voice that I'm not even going to attempt to imitate.
2019, isn't it?
Yeah, for season.
Yeah, why make us wait 18 months or so?
That couple of minutes of Jon Snow's ass isn't going to last me 2 years.
For 6 episodes.
I've seen that. Will. Is that Will?
Yeah.
I've seen that on
Mountain
Facebook.
versus Viper with a lightsaber.
I think it's the one.
That is
double-ended,
cool, yeah.
Darth Maul style-esque thing.
That is cool. I've seen that one too.
Yeah.
Thing is, I haven't watched any of it, and I've got so many random bits of knowledge because of Facebook.
You see me liking everything on Facebook.
It's just random. It's just like, this. My favourite one is, I think the White King's called Stephen, isn't he now? Or something?
Yeah, Stephen, yeah.
Steve the Walker. But it is worth, even those that have watched it, is worth going back to season 1 and watching again, because all of a sudden when you start watching season 1, you're like, oh right, yeah, of course. And the amount of things that have happened in sort of later seasons that they set up for in season 1, so that you forget about, because when you're first watching it, you can't take that much in.
Well, it's like when the Dothraki came, and it was Robert Baratheon, wasn't he? He said you'd be a fool to face a Dothraki on an open field, and then all they were there.
Have you heard about the spin-off series that they're going to do? The Baratheon Wars. The war that led to Game of Thrones as we know it. So the war that took place where Ned Stark and Robert Baratheon were at war. They're doing the spin-off series for that. And they've done it right. So in this week's episode, or last week's episode, whatever it was, Arnie was telling me this morning, I'm trying to remember how he worded it, was they gave... Basically, Robert Baratheon was led to believe that his missus was raped and pillaged.
She was not.
She was, and she gave herself freely, because we've seen that now. She married with consent. So did he know? And that's what the war was actually about, and it was pure anger because she'd betrayed and gone. Was it all a ruse? Well, but they've put enough in there that makes the Baratheon War, which is this spin-off series, actually feasible to do. And that's got to be epic. Load of fight.
Yeah, to be fair.
Sean Bean's going to have to come back there.
Scene Bean.
Unless they get young Sean
And he
Bean.
won't die, because he can't die.
He can't. He can't come back. It can't happen.
He can't die in that.
He can. And then
In a dream sequence.
Alessandrus will bring him back to life as well.
Alessandrus.
No, Alice. What's her name?
Melisandre.
Melisandre, that's it, yeah. I got all excited.
What, they're going to have to kill him just to keep up with
Yeah.
They're going to kill him because they can't not kill him.
But they can't not kill him because he dies in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but they could make him come back to life, and maybe he's got a scar across his heart where they brought him back to life.
Honestly, we were talking about it earlier, and Laura was like, yeah, because when Jon Snow died the first time, and I got goosebumps, and I was like, I'd rather we didn't talk about that. I would rather be excluded.
Well, as she
from this
said
narrative.
though, maybe actually they'll just kill Jon Snow.
Thing is, it
Properly kill him. Get his head chewed off by a dragon.
the disrespect you're showing me by saying this to me.
Don't think I'm saying that on purpose. Anyway, right, we're now 15 minutes over. And
Totally
we're
worth
literally
it.
just rambling about this. So,
It's about Lord of the Rings, and that is a whole
Lord
other
of
hour
the
and a half for me, because Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings is
well,
like
that's
a
a rabbit
religion.
hole. Let's not go
Somebody
down
asked about The Hobbit earlier on, about
No,
a game.
That's like my religion, though, so we could be here for like 2 hours.
And as a game, do you know what? They were playing it in Canada, did we? And
There's a massive following for it.
there is. There's a whole Hobbit League. The Great British
GBHL
Hobbit
guys, my little boys, I love them. Great
And
guys.
it's great. We've got, if anybody's interested to buy for £100, a beautifully painted full Hobbit set. And when you think that the game itself is like what, 70 quid to have it assembled
25, yeah.
and fully
Price.
painted, and it's not just painted, it's painted really well. It wasn't painted by me. So if anyone's interested in it, then by all means, that is for sale. Ping us a message, we'll send you some photos and you can buy it. Will, whilst you're still on, because I'll forget to message you later. In fact, no, I'll just message you later, that's fine.
That was cryptic.
It was, and then I suddenly realised.
I think Jon Snow will hire Chuck Norris, and he will single-handedly kill a I am so okay with that happening.
So, the bed checks the closet when Chuck Norris gets in the room.
Yeah.
For nightmare.
Also, Robert, done quickly. Sorry, again. Sorry.
The dark is scared
I
of Chuck
have
Norris.
been on board with this theory for a while that it's Sam who's telling the story, because like when he was in the library, the big light in the Great Library looks exactly like the thing in the opening credits, and he says, doesn't he's like, oh, I'd give it a far more poetic name if I was writing tales of the wars and stuff. So I'm big
straight
on
onto
board with what Rob's saying there. Definitely.
No secret, Will, don't worry. I'll message you in a bit. Or message me.
I'm bang on with Rob.
When you're messaging me as you and not as Vic. So I can't get more cryptic than that. Antonio, pictures will go up when the army is finished. There you go. And on that note, guys,
sign off.
at 1 hour 17 minutes, the longest show we've done yet. We've still got 21 of you fools watching us. But you're not fools. We love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to our special guest, Philip, for coming on.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. If any of you guys, the 21 of you that are still watching, and any of you post-watching viewers who get this far into it, crazy fools. If you'd like to come and be on the show, give us a shout.
You're going to be like the OG guest.
Yeah.
Except my mom's the OG
Guest,
guest, actually. Sorry.
guest is good. Let us know. If you don't get a reply, it's because we don't like you. And if you do get a reply, we'll get you on. Simple as that. On that note,
Like, share, subscribe, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
yes,
everything.
Please,
Do
helps
it.
us. Peace out from me. See you later, guys.
Bye!
See you guys.